Well, hello there. Welcome back to today's episode. And today we're talking about how you can improve your energy levels by changing just one thing. If you could change just one thing and get your energy back, would you? We're going to be talking about that today. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro, health coach, self-care coach, your breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver. And I want to thank you for joining me here today. I'm also the host of the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. So again, if you could change just one thing and get your energy level like through the roof up by changing just that one thing, would you do it? Yeah. Well, I invite you for a second to consider what that might look and feel like. Can you imagine actually waking up excited for your feet to hit the ground and looking forward to the day ahead? Can you imagine what that would feel like? Can you imagine not relying on 5 cups of coffee to keep you going throughout the day? Can you imagine feeling more settled, calmer, more grounded, more focused, less brain fog, and less anxious? Can you imagine being there for all the little moments, the soccer games, the choir shows, or the date night with your hubby? Easily, without stressing, without feeling like you're pushing yourself. Can you imagine taking care of all the chores around the house that have just been sitting there taunting you, but you haven't had the energy to take care of them? Can you imagine being more patient with every person you come into contact with? Would you start laughing again? Would you stop being goofy and having more fun instead of being impatient and picking each other apart? What would that look like? How would that feel in your home? What would the energy be like? Can you imagine making plans with friends, knowing that you're actually going to make it, instead of letting them down again at the last minute because you're too tired? And in the back of your head, you can't help but wonder, are they going to stop inviting me because I keep canceling? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to feel that way. And how would it feel to have the time and the energy to stop moving your body again? Instead of staring at your sneakers in the corner, feeling like you should be going for a walk, but the couch and the snuggly blanket and Netflix went out again. Let me ask you again. If you could change one thing and get your energy back, would you? Now, our energy affects every single area of our life, even our intimacy, right? Everything. And so the payoff is pretty big if we decide that we're going to do what we can to get it back, right? But you have to decide the way that we decided that we were going to fight breast cancer, the way that we decided that we want to be here for the future, to enjoy our family, right? We made that decision. Maybe it was quietly, maybe it was in your head, maybe you didn't share it with other people, but you decided. And I know that because you're here, right? You made that decision. Now, don't misunderstand me, right? Breast cancer related fatigue is real. And that comes about because of treatment, medications, the fact that we've actually all been through trauma, right? That all is because of that. But what we're not often told is that most of us are wiped out to a degree much higher than that baseline. It isn't registered, right? Nobody's checking on it. How tired are you? So what's this one thing? You're probably wondering, right? What's this one thing that can have such a massive, massive impact? Well, it's what we eat. And if you think about it, right, how many times a day do we eat and drink anything we're putting into our body? Well, it's a minimum of 3 meals. I know for sure you're probably having a couple of snacks in there too, and definitely some drinks, whether it's water or whether you're heading to Starbucks and picking up the latest holiday frappe or something, right? What we eat and drink matters. And what you may not yet realize is that those 3 meals, those snacks, those drinks have the power to either fuel you or deplete you. Okay. And right now, you feel like you're running on empty, right? On fumes alone. So I want you to picture this, right? I want you to picture that your car is running out of gas. And what do we do when our car's running out of gas? We want to find the latest gas station, right? We want to find a close gas station. We want to put gas in our car because we know that if we're running out of gas, it's going to stop. It's going to splutter and then it's going to stop, right? So with our car, if we top it up with the right kind of fuel, the car can keep going efficiently the way it's supposed to, running smoothly, right? But if we use the wrong fuel, what happens? Car splutters. It's not as efficient, messes up the engine. Same way that food messes up our digestive system and our gut health. And what we eat is so, so powerful because 80% of our immune system comes from our gut health. Surprised? Perhaps. 80%. And so one of the things that we know that we want to do as breast cancer survivors, we want to have a strong immune system, right? We don't want our body to have to fight hard for every little bug that's coming around, let alone COVID, right? But we want it to be strong enough to fight breast cancer if we're on track to get that again. I don't know about you, but I don't want to. I do everything I can to not get it again, right? Now, I'm going to go into a lot of detail about what to eat, what not to eat, how to manage putting a meal together, how to eat on the go, things like that. We're talking about all of that in my upcoming free 5-day Eating for Energy After Breast Cancer Challenge. And like I said, you're going to get all of that information written down, of course, because I don't know if you're anything like me, but I need cheat sheets. I need reminders. I'll put something like on the fridge or on the cabinet. Like, I need that. And that's okay. That's okay. It's all right. This is just where we are right now, right? Got to be kind to ourselves. So whatever we need. But I do want to share some of those basics with you today. So listen up and listen in. And I want you to kind of think about, how are you eating right now? How are you fueling? What's the quality of the fuel that you're putting into your body right now? Okay. So my approach is always to lower inflammation in our body, because to me, that gives us the most bang for our buck. Because inflammation is the root cause of all disease across the board. That's not a Karenism. Scientific fact, right? Including breast cancer. So when we're inflamed, what do we feel? We feel drained, bloated, gonna have terrible brain fog, gonna have mood swings, hot flashes, muscle aches and pains. We're probably not sleeping well. Does any of this sound familiar? Right. So not unlike most of the side effects that we're dealing with right now. Interesting, right? So it would make sense that if we can reduce the inflammation, those side effects will likely follow. And if we can lower all of those side effects, what are we going to have? More energy? You betcha. You betcha. Absolutely. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of foods that we want to be eating less of. These are your inflammatory foods. These are foods that can cause inflammation within our bodies. Now, inflammation is a very unique thing. All of our bodies are different. Our makeup is completely different. Our hormones are completely different. Everybody is different. So this is just a really broad guideline, but I want you to take notice of how you feel when you're eating these foods. Your body tells you. If you're feeling sluggish after something, for instance, I feel sluggish after I eat eggs, which is really annoying because I like eggs. It's not that I don't eat eggs, but like if I've got a busy day ahead of me, I'm not going to have eggs for breakfast because I know it's not going to serve me. If I know it's a lazy Sunday and I get to relax and read a book or watch a movie or whatever, take a nap, then I might have eggs, knowing that I don't need the energy, right? But I'm not going to do it every day because I know that that's how my body reacts. They inflame my body. They don't work well for my body. These are the things that we need to be taking notice of. So some of the common inflammatory foods are things with wheat, dairy, potatoes, tomatoes, corn, sugar. Now, sugar is a big one, right? And so many people, you hear the sugar argument, does sugar cause cancer? Well, the answer is sugar does not cause cancer, but sugar can cause an inflammatory response in our body that certainly does not help because inflammation is the root cause of all disease. So that sugar can cause that inflammatory response, which is then going to have that trickle down of everything else. Things like also another big one and surprising one are peanuts and peanut butter. Did you know peanut butter contains mold? Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, a lot of peanut butter contains mold and peanuts in the shell, right? So you want to be staying away from that. So think of things like almond butter, cashew butter instead. Coffee is another inflammatory. Alcohol causes inflammation. Juice, soda, and any kind of processed or fried foods. So processed foods, to break it down into a nutshell, anything in a bag, a box, or a jar. It's all been processed. So and those are foods that we want to minimize and try and stay away from. Try and replace with some healthier alternatives. Now, what are those? Okay, so anti-inflammatory foods. These are the foods that we want. Give me. We want more of these, right? These are the foods that are going to help our body get rid of that inflammation, get rid of the fatigue, the brain fog, the mood swings, the hot flashes, the Buddha belly. Yes, who doesn't want that, right? So these are the foods we want more of. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, halibut, veggies, lots and lots and lots of them, especially things like asparagus, bean sprouts, beet greens, broccoli. Broccoli is amazing, such great anti-inflammatory food. Red and green cabbage, cauliflower, celery, Swiss chard, all of your greens, right? Cucumbers, endive, mixed greens, dandelion greens, radishes, spinach, and watercress. I love watercress. I love that pepperiness in it. And what about your fruits? Okay, so again, if you're not great at fruits and vegetables, we want to try and be adding these in. And I talk about more how to actually do this in that 5-day Eating for Energy challenge. Because here's the thing, right? I'm not about just giving you information. You can read that. You can find it on the internet. Where I come in is I tell you and show you how you can do this within your crazy, busy, chaotic, fatigued life, right? Because that's the game changer. That's what makes the difference. Information is great, but it sits there if we're not doing anything with us. It's not helping us transform our lives. It's the doing we need to be doing. So what about fruits? Back on track, Karen, right? Fruits, especially things like pineapple, cantaloupe, rhubarb, love rhubarb, melons, strawberries, apricots, blackberries, cranberries, papaya, peaches, plums, raspberry, kiwi, apples, blueberries, cherries, grapes, pears, and pomegranates. These are all your higher anti-inflammatory fruits. Okay. Now, then we go on to things like ginger and garlic and turmeric. Add them into everything you are cooking. Most nuts and seeds, also super good. Things like pumpkin seeds, loaded with zinc. Okay, zinc is a great immune boosting seed. Really great. Throw a couple of seeds on your oatmeal in the morning. Doesn't have to be difficult, right? Most nuts and seeds, of course, we're excluding peanuts from that because we just found out that shocking news that peanuts can contain mold. And of course, what I call nectar of the gods, water, 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 lots of it, lots of water. Now, you don't need to remember all of these, okay? Because I'm putting, like I said, a cheat sheet together, and it's got your name on it when you join the free 5-day Eating for Energy After Breast Cancer Challenge. Right, so you have to join the challenge. You'll get that cheat sheet with all of those foods written on them. I'll make sure the link to join the challenge is wherever you're listening to this episode or watching this episode today. So let's summarize all of that, okay? Number one, what you eat really, really matters, okay? When it comes to you, your overall health, but specifically your energy levels, okay? It makes a difference, and it makes a difference quickly. So we're all looking for that quick win these days, right? Food is that quickest payoff that you can get, right? Eat good for 3 days. Eat those anti-inflammatory foods. Reduce the junk stuff. For 3 days, you will feel like a new person. It's amazing. Our bodies have this innate ability to heal themselves when we nurture them and give them the right tools, the right fuel, just like your car, right? You're not going to give a sports car the same as you would, I don't know, a little banged up car, right? It needs a higher octane of fuel. Same for us. We need some high octane fuel right now. We're healing. We want to give our body what it needs to do that to the best of its ability, right? I want you to remember to shoot for progress, not perfection. This is not about being perfect. Perfect in my eyes doesn't exist, right? And when we're shooting for that, we're never going to reach it and we're going to beat ourselves up for it. So I'm not a fan. And as a recovering perfectionist over here, I understand how that can be so hard, right? But this isn't all or nothing. This is about, like I said, making it fit into your life in the best way that you can. Thinking about progress. Maybe you're picking one of those foods. Maybe it's your water, because I find that that's the thing, you know, am I hydrated enough? That's the thing that has the most impact. And that's just the one thing that you focus on for now. Don't feel like you have to do it all at once. You just start out by adding in more of the good stuff and start to have less of the not so good stuff, right? We want less inflammatory foods, those processed foods, and we want more anti-inflammatory foods, which is the real food. And if you think about shopping the outside of your supermarkets and your stores, that's where most of the real food sits. If you think about where your produce is and your meats and fish and things like that, they're all on the outside. Intentional, because it's easier for them to be restocked as frequently as they need to be. If you think about it, all the boxes and bags and jars, they're all in the middle of our supermarket. Interesting, right? Yeah, you'll never look at the supermarket ever the same ever again. You'll be like, wow, look at that. Never noticed that before. I know. I'm full of these little quips and things from 20 years and plus in the business. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. But as I said, I want to extend a very warm invite to you to come join us in the 5-day Eating for Energy After Breast Cancer Challenge. It's the unchallenging challenge. You're going to get an email every day with some tips. You're going to get recipes. You're going to get suggested meals for the week. For 5 days, you'll know what you're having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'll have those recipes. You'll have a shopping list to help you out, making it as easy for you as I can. You can even give somebody else the shopping list and say, off you go. Thank you very much. They're easy to make. They're not difficult. They're family friendly. All just real food. But more importantly than those recipes and things, you're going to get access to me for 5 days, right? I'm going to be popping into our exclusive Facebook group for 5 days to share with you the tips and tricks of how to actually do this, how to make this happen, right? When you are tired and you are exhausted and you're trying to take care of everybody else. I get it, right? When you've got other people in the house that don't want to eat the same way that you do. I get it. I've got tips for all of those things. So please join the challenge today. And I hope to see you on the inside. I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell. I'm excited. Again, thanks for joining me, guys. I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro. You can find me over at karendelmaestro.com or in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. And of course, in the 5-day Eating for Energy After Breast Cancer Challenge. I'll be dropping the link wherever you're watching or listening to this episode. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, guys. I'll see you next time.